Matt from Matt, you are on the line here. Welcome to Truth Wanted. How's it going?
Yeah, going good, Dan. You're awesome. You brighten up my week. Derek, nice to meet you. Yeah, and sorry, I know we might be beating a dead horse here a little bit, but I don't know if you guys got a chance to read the intelligence report on the UAPs. It's a 9-page report.
Yes.
And there's one. Oh, did you?
Well, I did whenever it first came out, when we were first talking about it a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but so I don't know if you read the part where it says, and a handful of UAP appear to demonstrate advanced technology is the title of the section. It's at the top of page 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's, they don't have explanations for any of them, but they have they have a suspicion to believe that some could be explanation-wise of advanced technology. I don't believe, and I don't have it in front of me, I don't believe the conclusion is these are definitely examples of advanced technology, but that these are like plausible explanations for it. I don't think that report actually made any strict conclusions on the matter, but that's a technicality here.
I can't say I have not read the article, but I'll say this. I did a recent interview with a guy named Mick West, right? Who he's kind of known as a debunker. He's been on Joe Rogan's podcast multiple times. Joe's pissed off with him because Joe doesn't like the guy constantly debunking and not like going, don't you see it? These UAPs, they're extraterrestrial. They must be some type of alien. Don't you get it? The problem is, even in this statement, and I haven't even read it, but if let's say it says that they think these are advanced technology, the aircrafts that are actually filming this are advanced technology. It's not like they're not saying these are extraterrestrial, so to speak. They're not giving you any type of data to say these are from other planets. And if this was such an extreme case, you would see military response to something like this if we thought that this was potential danger. Extraterrestrial danger. We don't see that. My father's a retired Green Beret in the Special Forces, and he's like, I don't know. There could be aliens out there. I think it's possible life's on other planets and maybe way more advanced life. But I'm highly skeptical that all we keep getting are these like obscure video recordings that could potentially be aircraft 15, 20 miles in the distance. And we have people who are being abducted, and they're giving these accounts of abductions, claiming these grays and greens and blues or whatever it might be of aliens. And then you have these other people who are going, well, I saw a leprechaun. And then you got other people who say Jesus came to visit them. I connected those dots purposefully to say we should all start more cautiously and not draw conclusions. And if we don't know, we just don't know.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree with that too.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's interesting. One of the possible explanations for it that I hadn't thought of before was further down on that same page 5, in a section called UAP probably lack a single explanation. And there's a section called U.S. government or industry development programs. And at the end of that part, it says, we are unable to confirm, however, that these systems accounted for any of the UAP reports. So I'm assuming that means if it was a government craft, but it's classified, that they wouldn't admit to it. And then they also talk about like foreign adversary systems. But what's really interesting to me in the one section where it says it appears to demonstrate advanced technology, and obviously I agree with you guys, we can't jump to any conclusions here, but it does say some UAP appear to remain stationary in winds aloft, move against the wind, maneuver abruptly or at considerable speed without discernible means of propulsion. In a small number of cases, military aircraft systems process radio frequency energy, which I assume that's radio waves, but I don't exactly know, associated with the UAP sightings. So, yeah, I don't know. It just kind of
I will say this. I'd like to add to this, if you don't mind, real quick, because I did recently talk about this on my channel. One of the problems that we find is if you go back to the case where the UFOs where this all comes back to the situation in Texas, where, well, it finally came out that this was a balloon, a weather balloon, right? Well, really, Mick West pointed this out, that what the government finally released and said, look, at the time we were investigating Russia, okay, and Russians were dropping nuclear weapons. We're kind of in a race of technology here, where they had weather balloons with sound devices trying to pick up, because you can hear a nuclear bomb with the sound waves, and eventually it was released saying, look, this is what it was. I'll say this as a son of someone who couldn't tell me half the things he did during his active duty military tours overseas, because they have top secret clearances. What they've released there, and I'm not saying this is the case, I'm saying it's possible that they're not telling you everything, because potentially there is some technology that they're not willing to talk about. And I'm not saying UFOs, I'm saying advanced stuff that they have, right, or other nations have, that they're saying, look, we don't want to discuss this matter. This isn't for the common people. This is stuff that's top secret clearance. And when you get into that, you have to be careful. I mean, like, when you don't know, don't draw conclusions. But I always say it's good to start with natural, rational positions to try and come to the conclusion. What does Occam's razor tell us? What can we do to try and answer this and make sense of it, rather than coming up with some of the wildest ideas that people who've shown up on Joe Rogan's podcast are saying? And there's millions of people want to see that crazy stuff. Not many people want to say, okay, this was an aircraft 15 miles in front of this jet that's recording, and it's just a human piloting the thing. That doesn't make it fun to half the people on planet Earth, you know?
Yep. Yeah. I don't want to, I've already given my thoughts on this too. What we've been talking about these past few weeks. The only thing I'll add extra is the report also even mentions that it could even be American systems. They don't even rule out the possibility that it is also just another project within the American government that they haven't confirmed is working in tandem in this. So like, that's how little a lot of these reports really know about what we're looking at here. So it's hard to speculate. It's really hard to speculate at this point. So
I was really disappointed on and related to what Derek was saying. It says in 18 incidents described in 21 reports is the very first part of the appear to demonstrate advanced technology section. And I couldn't find any of those reports. Like there doesn't seem to be any sourcing on those. So I guess maybe they're classified or something. But so I was pretty disappointed by that. But they go through all the other ones where they did confirm that it was like, just clutter in the air, like birds and balloons and stuff like that. But there are these 18 incidents out of like, I think it's 144 that they say appear to be advanced technology. But yeah, it could be us. It could be a foreign government. I mean, it could even be some sort of light phenomena that actually does exist, but we just haven't discovered yet. So it's like tricking us into thinking it's
Dan. I'll end on this. If 9 times out of 10, and I agree with the caller here, if 9 times out of 10 we know we figured out something, oh man, it's always this, like Scooby-Doo. He's always unmasking the guy or the person. It's never a demon. It's never a monster. It's never a ghost. It's never really a spirit or anything. When 9 times out of 10 and we just don't know what number 10 is, there's no reason to assume number 10 is that other thing. You know what I mean? It's like we should hold and be cautious, and I think our caller agrees with us. So thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you there.
I don't think aliens would be supernatural, though.
Right.
I don't think so either, unless you're somebody that's called in recently and suggested that it's all the illusions of demons. Unless you have that point of view, we're probably not looking at something supernatural here. Probably something that we can explain within the natural realm, whether that's aliens or otherwise. I mean, I don't, again, rule out completely that it could be something that's not human, but it's not my first go-to and probably won't be for foreseeable future. But anyway, that's all the time I want to take with this call. Thank you, Matt, for calling in from Maryland. I didn't say Maryland at first because I saw the state code and I couldn't remember what it was because I don't see calls from Maryland too often. So MD, I was like, what is MD? It's not Michigan. Michigan doesn't have a D in it. So
you're not omniscient? Oh man.
I know. I'm bad at the state codes. It's kind of a thing. I wish I was better at it.